Today, as we look at videos from the vault, we're going to talk about creative journaling. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and we are doing a From the Vault series this summer as I pack up this space and move to Texas. It's going to be a chaotic few weeks, but I didn't want you to be left without content. So I pulled a few videos from my Patreon vault. These are formerly exclusive videos for Patreon members, but I thought I'd pull a handful out and kind of show you some of the things we have done in the past over on Patreon that I thought you might enjoy. So in today's video, this is part of a series that we did on creative journaling. I loved this series and I think my patrons really loved it as well. Creative journaling just speaks to my heart. I think it's amazing. So this is kind of the introduction to the series. You're going to hear me say part 2. Part 1 was over on YouTube, but don't worry, this will cover everything you need to know as we kind of get started with creative journaling. You can expect to see a few more From the Vault creative journaling videos coming up, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's check it out. So let's begin by talking about setting up a routine for success with creative journaling. I have talked a lot about this in the past where I really believe creativity is like a muscle, and the more you work the muscle, the stronger it gets. And when you have big breaks between creative sessions, that's when you have a hard time getting going. The flow doesn't necessarily come super easily. So setting up a routine for creative journaling has been successful for me in the past to kind of unlock how it feels to creative journal. I've started to get a little bit more into the feelings, the emotions, the things that I want to journal. I've had more fun working in the journal because it doesn't feel like this huge insurmountable task. It feels like something that's just a part of my daily routine, and it becomes something that I really look forward to. So let's start out by picking a time for creative journaling. I would pick a time in your day that tends to be a more anxious time. That's kind of how I've always chosen it. And for me, that's actually some of the morning time when I'm kind of overwhelmed with everything that's about to happen in the day. I have all of the to-do lists running through my head, thinking of everything that's coming up. And I can tend to feel really anxious in that time of the day, which is why it's a really good time for me to sit down and kind of work through that so that I can then start my day off on the right foot. Morning time has been a really great time for me to do that. Plus, I love that little bit of spark of creativity at the beginning of the day, and I generally connect it to something else. So for me, creative journaling happens when the kids leave for school. I come home, and that's one of the first things that I sit down and do. Connecting it to something that already happens on a regular basis. So maybe it's when you have your cup of coffee, you sit down with your cup of coffee and your journal, and then that's when you work in it. Maybe for you, it's when kids leave. Maybe it's after you take the dog for a walk outside. Connect it to something else that's already a routine in your day. There are some other options. Not everyone is going to find the morning time a great time, especially if you have to get to work really early in the morning. That might be a rough time for you. So some other options. I've chosen to do it at times in the middle of the day before, connecting it with your lunchtime, connecting it with your afternoon coffee time. For me, it means maybe stopping work like 15, 20 minutes early before I have to go pick up children and taking the time to do that creative journal. It's very settling. It's very calming for me. And it's a great transition in my day. It might be just connecting to maybe you sit down and you watch a show normally. Well, connect it to that time. Another time that you could definitely choose is the end of the day. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't found a lot of success with journaling at the end of the day. Truthfully, I am much more of a morning person, so my brain is super done at the end of the day. It's super tired, and I'm much more likely to skip the journaling process if I have pushed it off to the end of the day. You can still find I know there are people that are really like night owls. They're all about it. They kind of get their energy burst in the evening, and that might be the most successful time for you. But I want you to sit down this week and pick a time that you're going to journal every single day this week. You're going to journal each day, and it's going to be the same time, and you're going to give it a try for a full week, and then you're going to see if you need to adjust the time after that. But think through it. Think about how you like to work. Think about how your schedule is. Think about where you can sneak in 10 to 15 minutes of creative journaling here and there on each day, and see if you can figure out a time that's going to work for you. So setting up a time, super important. Okay, so now that we've talked about setting up a time that you're going to do creative journaling every day for at least a week, let's start talking about setting up a routine, something that you do to prepare your mind for creative journaling. For me, that would mean lighting a candle. That would mean turning on soft music. If it's too loud or I'm getting too excited about the music, something I really love and want to dance to, it's hard for me to concentrate. So I generally like to do soft music. It's whatever works for you. I tend to like to grab a drink of choice, Diet Dr. Pepper, coffee, something like that. And then I sit down and I already have my supplies gathered. I don't want to have to look for a bunch of supplies when I'm ready to sit down and creative journal. I've done that in advance, and I have selected some supplies that I can just choose from and work with right then. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we are all going to have different supplies preferences for creative journaling, but let me tell you some of the things I like to gather up. So I usually get an extra pouch, something like this, that I can use to gather up some different supplies that I might want to use for creative journaling. So this is a super cute pouch. All the hearts, adorable, ready to dig into this. So I'm going to pull out some labels. I think these work really well. I have a variety of colors. A lot of these are printed out from Illustrated Faith, I feel like. And just having these labels that I can pull out and use in different ways. I'm not really concerned with colors because I know myself that my creative journal will end up being like all of the colors all together. So we're just going to pull out a bunch of different labels and stick them into our pouch so we have them and they're kind of ready to go. I love using printables in my creative journaling because I know that I can print them again. So I don't have to worry about like hoarding things. So we're going to stick with some labels in here. That's going to be one of the main parts that I know I'm going to use. Something else that I thought would be really fun. I'm just going through my paper pieces, my stickers. You could grab a sticker book for a week and think, I'm going to use stickers from this one sticker book for the week, and then I'm going to switch it out over the weekend or try something different. You could get one set of printables, like something like this. These are some older printables from Shauna Klingerman that I thought would be really good. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out and add them in because I think those will be fabulous to get to use. I think I'm going to put them on the other side. I thought those would be fun to use. I love these stickers from Wrong Wrong. These are her die cut stickers that she released in the fall. And I thought it'd be cool to have like a girl on each page. I know some of them are like a little bit more themey than I would probably want in my creative journal, but I could go through and pick several that I was excited about or that I wanted to include, and then just have them ready to go. Look at all those princesses. So I'll pick some of these, again, not all the themey ones, but some of them here and there I thought would be super cute. The Spice Girls, that one is funny. Some of them I don't know as well, so I'm not sure that they would be ones that I would be super into. Friends, that one's adorable. There's some good ones, and they kind of have a vibe to them, so I thought that would be cute to have with my, oh, that one's super cute. I love that. Several of these are good. Okay. I think we'll pick these and add them in. We're going to put them in right here. Got our girls. And then something else I wanted to pick out. I have several pieces of this collection from Shauna Klingerman in Paper House. It was from the This Is Us line, released a while ago. So I'm not even sure that this is available anymore, but these are really great stickers that are kind of like mental health related, which I thought would be good. So I'm going to pick, so I don't need more cats. That's not the one I want. we'll pick some of these and put these in. I'm going to put them kind of in the basics, and then I'm going to stick these stickers, which are kind of like check-ins. This one I don't really need. Yeah, I think we'll leave these behind. We'll keep some of these in here. So that's good. So it's not a ton. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with a bunch of things to choose from because you want it to kind of come easily. But I just pick a few things that I'm going to want to grab during the week, and then I have them ready to go. Let's move this out of the way. And then I'll probably stick in something like this. So we'll do a couple of pens. We need a black pen. I'm going to need scissors quite possibly. And then I think I should probably put this in here, tape dispenser, and now my little pouch is all ready to go. And then I have my journal all ready to go. And so now I'm set up for success. So now we have supplies gathered. We've set up a time. We've kind of set up a routine, and we are ready to creative journal. But you might be wondering, where do I even start? What do I want a creative journal about? What do I want to journal about in general? And you need to pick in advance what you are going to journal about. And I'm going to recommend that you pick and then you journal in that kind of format for a week. So I want you to pick 5 different topics, and we're going to do 3 easy and 2 deep. So you're going to pick 3 easy things, 2 deep things. What counts as easy and what counts as deep, that's going to be up to you. And there's so many different topics. So let's see if we can make a list. I'm just going to brainstorm, and then I would love for you all to share down below in the comments or over on Patreon, share some other topics. So easy things that you could do. You could include the weather. You can include your daily schedule. You could include a task list. You could include a brain dump. You could include, I'm gonna put gratitude kind of in the middle, because I feel like gratitude could be easy and it could be deep. It's kind of in the middle. Let me brainstorm some deep ones, and then maybe we can kind of go back and forth. For deep, you could do a different type of, I'm going to call it a worry brain dump. So this brain dump is more like task-oriented things that need to happen. A worry brain dump is going to be the things that are in your head that you are worried about. Your kind of anxiety list. For me, putting it out there in the open, like writing it down, is something that's been really successful because it feels like it takes a little bit of the power away. You might do a prayer. For easy, maybe you're writing a quote. And in this case, I would write the same quote over and over, because it's something that is like sparking something to you, and you want to write it over and over along that same lines. Scripture, I'm going to do the writing of scripture is easy because that's just a rote thing. You're just writing out scripture. And then maybe for deep, you are rewording that scripture. You are memorizing the scripture. You are praying over the scripture. You know what I mean? You're going deeper rather than just writing it. You're going a little bit deeper, praying over the scripture. Okay? Deep reflection on yesterday. Deep might be a heart check. How are you feeling? Checking in on your feelings. Easy might be, well, geez, this one could go either way. I like putting visions, meaning thoughts about future. And actually, I'm going to write positive. So really writing out some positive thoughts, kind of putting it out there of things that you would love to happen in the future and just writing about it. That's going to be kind of on the deep side. Something you could do over here for easy is tracking. So you might be tracking a lot of things. It could be exercise, wellness, meaning how are you feeling? It could be medicine. It could be meals. Any sort of thing that you're tracking could be on the easy side, meaning not that it's easy to do all of these things, because we all know it's not, but it's easy to track. You're not going to have to put a lot of thought into, did I work out today? Am I going to work out today? That type of thing. There's all kinds of things that you could go back and forth on. And I would pick 3 easy and 2 deep and kind of get in on that kind of routine. So let's see. I am going to go with, for my easy ones, I think I'm going to go with some quotes for sure. I'm going to go with exercise. And then I'm going to go with gratitude. Those are going to be my easy. My deep are going to be a brain dump and then a heart check. That's going to be what I start with. You pick your 5 that you want to dive in deeper with. There's so many things. You could do affirmations. You could do, TV show summaries. Maybe you're watching a TV show. Maybe you're doing a reading log. In there, there's so many things that you could do in there. And there's also so many ways that you could go deep. And that's going to be a very personal choice for you. So this is what I'm going to start with. Now, let's go to our blank page and see how to just get going on the page. The deal with creative journaling, it's going to be different for everyone. Different things are going to spark differently for you. So let's just talk about how you can kind of get started. And then I want you to see what works for you. Try some different formats, whether you're using a bullet journal, whether you're using a planner, whether you're just using a blank notebook. See what is just kind of speaking to you. All right, so for me, I'm going to work in my bullet journal, and I'm only going to do a single page, not a double page spread, because I want it to be fast and simple and just a good exercise to kind of start the day. The blank page can be really intimidating for me. So the first thing I generally do is add boxes, whether that is an actual literal box from a printable or perhaps a little library card or a sticker box, something like that. I add a few boxes here and there just to break up the page, honestly, just to give me a little bit more structure to my page, because for me, it helps it make a little bit more sense. It feels less intimidating. It doesn't feel like something that I maybe have to fill up from the start. So I will go ahead and add a couple of boxes and then kind of be ready to go from there. We're going to do, I think I'm going to add the sticker because I think it's super cute, and that's going to give me some spaces to write, I believe. We'll see how that might be a little, I think I might add another one. Oh, I kind of dig that. Okay, let's put these down. So again, I'm just putting things down on the page. It doesn't have to be color coordinated. It doesn't have to be something that's like beautiful, Instagram worthy. This is for you. This is so that you can write, so that you can reflect. And there are things that bring you joy. So in that case, actually, I don't like it when it hangs off the page in my creative journal, which is shocking because I do really like it when it hangs off the page and other things. This is for you. It's just a way for you to A, play with fun supplies that you love, things that perhaps you've been hoarding, and then B, get some of those feelings out. So let's do this. All right, so for me, that is a pretty good start for a page, and then I kind of want to dive in deeper. So the first thing I always do is add the date. I like date stamps, so that's what we're going to do to start. All right, I'm recording this on February the 23rd, so I'm going to stamp that date. I think I'll just stamp right over here. Again, doesn't have to be in the same place each time, but I know I want the date, so that's there. And then I'm going to look at what I have said that I'm going to do. So I'm going to have gratitude, exercise, quotes, brain dump, and heart check. So I think this lends itself to my brain dump, and this is going to be kind of a worry brain dump. So I'm just going to go ahead and label that section. I could use fancy writing if I wanted to, but I don't have to. I'm going to do that. And then this is going to be my other kind of deeper section, and I'm going to write at the bottom, heart check. And then I'll go ahead and add a little doodle there. So this will be for heart check. This will be for brain dump. I have quotes, exercise, and gratitude. Let's go ahead and put gratitude up here. There we go. I have a place for gratitude. And then I don't have two separate boxes down here, but I can make them relatively easily. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's kind of section off a spot over here. Of course, I love my dashed line. So we'll have a box there, and then let's do it here. There. Now I have two other boxes ready to go. This one's kind of disappearing behind her. So this one will be for exercise, and this one will be for a quote. So now I'm just ready to fill in, and that's it, you guys. It doesn't have to be a whole ordeal. It can be really simple. You can just choose a few of your favorite supplies to get started. That's what the goal is this week. So you are going to pick a time during the day that you plan to creative journal on a regular basis. If you miss a day, give yourself grace. It's okay. You're starting a new habit, and that's okay. So you're going to pick a time. You're going to set up a routine, and you're going to gather your supplies in advance. And then you're going to pick the 5 things that you're going to journal about. Remember, this is not pages and pages of journaling unless that's what is on your heart. These are just check-ins in each different section. And these are things for me that I would love to check in on a regular basis. So that's what I'm going to focus on this week as I start to kind of dig in. You'll find that you kind of, you can just see, like, I'm like, I really want to add some more dash lines. You kind of fall into a routine, and journaling on the same topics for a week, 2 weeks, a month, however long you want to journal those topics, having that repeated check-in with those topics, you'll see that you really are able to start to dig a little bit deeper in those areas, which I think is really important. So I'm going to spend some time writing on here. I would love to hear some ideas that you guys have on what you want to journal about. And if you are willing, I would love for you to share below what your 5 kind of focuses are going to be in your journaling for the next week. So make sure to leave a comment over on Facebook, comment in the Patreon group, wherever you want to comment. We would love to hear from you. All right, I hope you enjoyed this little journaling check-in. Thank you so much. Any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them down below. We're here to support you in trying this kind of new endeavor for some of us. I think it's going to be a fabulous month, and I cannot wait to dig deeper. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.